I'll give you a quick update on what I'm doing and talk about a few things. I bought my building materials for just one section of wall. I want to test everything out, see what I need and what I don't need before I go spending too much money. As I mentioned, I'm going to do a double wall out of 2x4s. And in between the double wall, I'll slide some foam board insulation and I'm going to backfill it with concrete. So I'll have strength from the 2x4s, I'll have insulation from the foam board, and I'll have thermal mass from the backfilled concrete. I think that's going to be very strong. The earth here is very strong. I'm not too worried about my foundation. I didn't do the best job pouring in, but a lot of people here in the earth bag community just use a gravel trench as a foundation. This is going to be stronger than a gravel trench. It is high strength concrete. It's got rebar in there, so I'm not too worried. Gophers tend to dig under foundations. You can see some pictures here from my shed. That's a little bit of a concern, but I'll have to figure something out. I don't want to dig up my foundation to put in any kind of hardware cloth or anything. It's too late for that. I don't want to disturb that soil. It'll just weaken my foundation. It's pretty warm today. It felt very hot yesterday. Thermostat didn't show it being too hot, but it just felt hot. And my goats are all rambunctious. They're causing a lot of trouble, so after I calm them down, I can get back to work. So far, I was able to cut all my boards to length, which I forgot to on my shed, so I'm going to make sure to do that first before I start building. I'll make a future video updating that progress. But it might be a few days or so. I'm just one guy. It takes a long time to get any of this stuff done. But while I'm making a video, I wanted to talk about medicines. You know, prescription medicines a doctor prescribes you. How effective do you think they are? Like, how often do they work? Take 100 people with a particular problem, give them a medicine. How many people out of the 100 get better? And honestly, it varies per medicine, but they do test these things. And I don't know if you know, but it's a lot lower than you think. It's about half. So that's why when you go to a doctor, he kind of throws a bunch of prescriptions at you. Try this one, see if it works. If not, we'll swap it out with another one. And I was disappointed to find that out. I always thought that these things work. Half is not great. Honestly, placebo, just, they give you sugar pills. It's completely in your imagination. That can be effective a third of the time. Well, if nothing is effective a third of the time, and the actual drugs are effective half the time, my gosh, that's disappointing. I had heart failure, about 10 years ago, and they gave me a laundry list of medications for blood pressure and for my heart and all sorts of things. And one of them was a diuretic. So I was taking them for a while, taking them every day, and eventually my kidneys started to suffer. Stage 2 chronic kidney disease. So I said, oh gosh, what's going on? My heart's getting better and my kidneys are failing. I went to a kidney specialist. He was a real jerk. I had to wait for his appointment. I get in there. He only sees me for 10 minutes, spends all 10 minutes typing on a computer. Won't talk to me, won't tell me what's going on. Nothing. And just keeps throwing medicines on him. So I saw him twice. I finally stormed out. I said, this guy's a jerk. I'm not seeing it. I'm not paying $100 a session to talk to this guy. And I stopped the diuretics. He didn't tell me to. This was all I figured it out. And solved the problems. My kidneys have been fine since. Took about 3 or 4 months before my kidneys improved. Next time I had blood work done, my kidneys were fine. So I'm wondering if not only does a medicine only help half the people, it might harm some people too. They don't seem to worry about that too much. It's very rare for a doctor to tell you to stop taking a medicine, but there are lots of side effects. I had one blood pressure medicine. It worked really well on my blood pressure. Hydralazine it was. But it made me numb. My fingers started to get numb and my face started to get numb. So I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to end up with lupus or something. I can't, I got to stop this. And he says, well, your blood pressure's too low. You're just feeling, that's what it feels like to have low blood pressure. I said, well, take my blood pressure. It's still very high. I don't think that's what's happening. So I stopped that one too. But this experience started to get me interested in herbs, herbal medicine. The FDA won't endorse them. Oh, they won't even do tests on them or studies, scientific studies. There's no benefit to it. So that's why anytime you buy an herb, it's got that FDA disclaimer, right? FDA has not verified any of these claims. That doesn't mean those claims are wrong. It just means the FDA won't verify them. But I'm willing to try a lot of them. I know people sometimes get scared. Say, hey, you don't know what that's going to do, some crazy herb. And they're usually not strange herbs from the Amazon jungle. They're common herbs that, have been growing and people have been taking them for, thousands of years. So I'm not too worried. A lot of people also believe that medicines have to be bitter and taste bad. I don't. If it tastes bad, that's probably your body telling you it's not right for you. But if you like it, your body's saying, hey, give me some more of that. For example, beets are supposedly good for blood pressure in your heart. But boy, I hate beets. Won't take them. Everybody tries to force me to. They're like, oh, it's good for you. Lots of things are good for me and don't taste so bad. So I'm a firm believer they should all taste good. And there's lots of them that do. So you just have to keep looking and find the right ones for you. And that's just my 2 cents for today. I have to get back to my projects. My name's Joe. This is my channel, Off Grid Solitude. Like and subscribe, and I appreciate all your comments. And I'll see you in the next video.